Folks, welcome back to News One Now. Should I go to my iPad, please? This is the Mother Jones story here. It dropped 6 days ago. It's been 6 months since Tamir Rice died, and the cop who killed him still hasn't been questioned, nor is the other cop involved under criminal investigation, Mother Jones has learned. It is amazing that here we are still trying to figure out what the heck happened to them. Now, we talked about this whole confusion over incident report. Daily Kaz, Sean King reported that cops charged Tamir Rice, but they actually didn't. That was actually an incident report. So joining us on the phone right now, again, because we want to explain this to some folks who don't understand it. Please go up, because my guest is he's a retired police officer, and also the city of Cleveland also responded saying he wasn't charged. And so Ron Hampton, a retired D.C. Metropolitan Police officer. Ron, thanks for joining us. Ron, explain to the audience the difference between an incident report and when police put information on that compared to them actually charging an individual.
Well, an incident report is just that. It's a report to what, when, and how, or what happened at a given time that the police respond to, and there's an action. Even if it wasn't a shooting and the police came there and something happened, then they should have filed an incident report. The information that I read, the incident report charges Tamir Rice with 2 charges, 2 misdemeanors, I guess, in the state of Ohio and the city of Cleveland. So he's been charged after his death with 2 crimes. So anything about.
So Ron, so when they file an incident, so if you file an incident report, right, is that separate than charges being filed? I mean, that's really the question folks are trying to understand.
No. What an incident report would be like in Washington, D.C., where I was a police officer. They would do an incident report, and then if they know, for example, who committed the crime, then there would be that information would be filed in the incident report, and then from the incident report, then a warrant would be initiated, would have to be signed by a judge from the incident report if the individual who committed the crime is named or listed in the report.
So
go ahead.
So because they listed in the incident report inducing a panic or whatever, that's not actually filing charges against him. That's just that's them describing, based upon whatever law code, what they say took place.
Yeah, in terms of what they're doing, they're in the incident report. They're saying that Tamir Rice incited something and created and done something else. Mm-hmm. They're saying Tamir Rice done that. Now, I would think that in the code for that state, that those would be misdemeanor crimes. So they are actually saying that he committed a crime.
Gotcha.
That he's been charged with committing a crime. But
in order to be charged, that actually has to be filed with the court, and you say a warrant issue.
That's exactly right. A police officer writing an incident report is no more than the officer saying what happened.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
He would have to be officially charged by the district attorney or whatever they call that prosecutor in the city of Cleveland. Then that person would be the one who would say that Tamir was charged.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, Ron, that's what we wanted to explain to our audience. I certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining us.
All right. Thank you, too.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Still, I think that
Sean King and company are focused on the wrong thing. We should be focused on Frank Jackson and the chief of police in Cleveland, Ohio. See, we're focusing on the details of the procedure of the incident report. We should be focused on the people who are in charge in Ohio, who should be moving this case and be focused on this case.
I believe, but what they're doing, which what they always do, is they're trying to put Tamir's character into question and make him look bad.
So Calvin Williams, the chief of police in Cleveland. I mean, in other words, these people are in charge of this case. They should be the ones that we're focusing on, not any of these details, because the bottom line is a kid playing with a gun, like that never happens in America. A little kid playing with a gun was shot to death within 1 second. A fake gun was shot to death within 1 second of the cop arriving. And then we find out that the cop has a past that is extremely questionable.
Well, let me say this here. I think that this is crucially important. I believe fundamentally that the reason you do not have the level of outcry in Cleveland because the mayor is black, and the police chief is black.
We had outcry in Baltimore, though.
Well, no. Here's the deal. In Baltimore, where we had you had him dying. You had this whole other drama there. I'm just saying that for 170 days, I'm not understanding why you're not seeing the consistent and constant pressure, because I'm just not buying the excuses. Not only that, when the city filed their response to the family's federal lawsuit, that was even offensive, and they had to come out and apologize for that as well. But this makes no sense.
Well, but the chief of police may be black in Cleveland, but it's not a black city.
Yeah,
Baltimore is a microcosm.
But whether it's a black city or not, the person in charge is black and should have some sensibility for these issues.
I'm talking about cause and effect and why there's been no response.
You know,
I totally agree with you, but I'm saying that Baltimore, like Charleston, these are small microcosms, including Ferguson, are small microcosms of predominantly black life. And that's why I think things swelled up the way they did. And there was some initial reaction to Tamir's murder, and then everything went down.
At a minimum, even if the police, even if the mayor feels like the mayor's walking a fine line, they have to at least keep the issue front and center, right? And instead of trying to sort of, by forgetting about it or letting it recede to the background, not addressing it. I mean, if the mayor doesn't want to conclusively say, you know, the mayor's position, at least keep the issue front and center. Say, where's the police investigation?
Okay,
why haven't the officers?
I'm trying to remember. How many days was it that Loretta Lynch had to wait to be confirmed? What was it?
168.
It was 168.
168. But let me tell you something. Even in the New York City Police Department, when Akai Gurley was shot, and that was a mistake by that cop, Bill Bratton got out there right away the next day and said this guy got shot and should not have been shot. These people in Cleveland have no excuse. The mayor and the chief have no excuse for what they're doing.
But here's my point. It was 168 days for Loretta Lynch to be confirmed. It's been more than 170 days since Tamir Rice was killed, and the cops still have not been
nothing
interviewed. Wait a minute, I didn't say charged. You haven't even been interviewed. That to me is foot dragging on the part of the sheriff's department, and again,
and the city leader.
And there should be, to me, I will be thinking, whether it's Black Lives Matter movement or whatever, folks should be saying, commencing immediately, mass action, mass protest against Cleveland and that county to say get something done. Before we go to the break, I need to pull this up, please. We saw this story, it's a really sad story. Alexis Jones Rhodes was on her way to graduation from Clark, Atlanta, when all of a sudden she came up missing. She is 22 years old, 5'5", 127 pounds. She was driving a black 2006 Hyundai Accent. The Georgia license plate tag is BPC, that's Bob Paul Cat 6177. Again, she was last seen Monday, headed to Clark Atlanta University campus for graduation, and she came up missing. Any information, call the DeKalb County Police Department, please. I mean, I can only imagine her family going to graduation, expecting to see your daughter walk across that stage, and she never even makes it to graduation. And so we wanted to go ahead and put that out there. Again, more information we'll have it on the website as well. Pal, thanks so much. I appreciate it.